Hello everyone, this is the Leech bringing you the fifth and final game between the purple Protoss here in the top right of Shakura's Plateau, Ranged, and his opponent, the yellow Terran in the bottom left of Shakura's Plateau, Tarson. Very impressive game by both these players so far. Tarson has won 3 out of the 5, and Ranged here just trying to pick up another win to make it not such a landslide. These were just some ladder games between the two guys that happened to play on quite a few different matches here. See Tarson throwing down a supply depot at the front. It looked like he was going to be going to the low ground here possibly, but no, he is going to be throwing down that supply depot there. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the game so far. If you have, please check out the Leech StarCraft on YouTube and subscribe. It would be much appreciated, and hopefully one day I will be able to upload videos that are longer than 15 minutes. That would be very awesome, because 2 uploads for one game is completely redonkulous. So both players just doing very standard things right now, getting their gateway and their barracks in their base, not pulling out the tricky range play of throwing down that proxy gateway, and looks like Ranged is going to start going out to scout here. He has scouted first every single time, and usually Tarson waits until about this barracks about 80% done, or complete even, before he starts scouting. We'll see what he decides to do this game. SCVs look like they're staying all in the base right now, so no scouting yet going out. Gas coming down for the Protoss, Chrono boosting out them probes, and very fast wall off here from Tarson, and just starting that supply depot so that it cannot be scouted at all. So we'll see what Tarson decides to do here. Might be doing something a little tricky. Supply depot will ward off the probe, and the probe trying to attack it, but Tarson's SCV surrounds it and continues building the supply depot, so it's going to finish off that wall off. Orbital command now on the way. And this is the first time that Tarson has done something like this in this series, so we'll see what he decides to try and do here. Cybernetics core coming down right now for the Protoss. And both players appearing to do normal things. That is a very early second supply depot for Tarson, as you can see. 10 supply ahead and starting to pump out Marines here to the natural expansion. Still no gas down, so we could be seeing a very fast expand here from Tarson, as this gasless build is a good indication of that, and it looks like he's bringing down this SCV to build that expansion. Yes, and he's actually going to do it on the low ground. The Cybernetics core is about to finish up. There's a Zealot on the way right now, and the SCV is standing here just to make sure that if an army moves out or if an expansion starts to come down, he can block it for a short while or delay an army for just a few moments. Marines scouting around here for some proxy pylonage, and they have not found anything just yet, and they're not going to find anything because there is no proxy pylons. A second gas coming down right now for Ranged, and Tarson's command center is getting close to halfway done right now. So really Ranged is going to need to notice this fairly soon. But the way that Tarson walled off at the beginning was kind of tricky, so it didn't look like he was necessarily going for a fast expand because he was walling off this front. It looked like he might be trying for some tricky tech, but once that probe left, he just went straight to that expansion. SCV now in the base of Ranged here, gonna get taken out by this Stalker fairly soon, and here comes the pain train now. Marines scouted everywhere, not noticing any proxy pylons, feeling good, going back to the base. 3 more barracks now coming out, making a total of 4 for Tarson. Everything rallied up to this front choke here. And looks like the Warp Gate research is on the way. I haven't seen any Chrono Boost on it yet. There is an additional Stalker coming out, and we'll see. Yes, the expansion comes down now for Range. So Range a little bit behind on the expansion. Actually, a lot of it, as this one's already turning into an orbital command. But we will see if he decides to just go for a 2-base push, or if he's going to try and play the macro game again. As the games have been going on, he has been deciding to go high Templar tech. We'll see if he decides to keep doing that. A bunker now coming down at the front for Tarson, knowing that he could be in some trouble with a 4-gate. He did not scout that expansion yet, so he doesn't know what quite is coming. One Zealot going to be running up. These Marines here are going to kill it, though. Yes, it is going to go down. The Stalker is going to get away, no problem. And Mule's being called down from that second orbital command now. This Nexus about 50% of the way done. Warping in some more units right now is Ranged, and Tarson throwing down a scan there, seeing everything in the base, seeing the 3 gateways with the Cybernetics core. Still doesn't know about this expansion yet. If we take another look, still does not know about this. So that scan did tell him that there was 3 gateways, leading him to believe that it might be a 3-gate expand, but really the Protoss already expanded. So we'll see how Tarson decides to react to the scan and the information that he got from it. Another bunker is coming down here at the front. And it's a very interesting position there where he laid it in the back. I've never seen anything quite like that. So, I guess it does separate them a little bit. so that while Zealots are attacking this one, this can be shooting at them, but I've never seen that quite yet, so learning new stuff every day here. Second refinery coming down now for Tarson, getting an engineering bay as well and a tech lab on one of these barracks to start those vital upgrades. One probe going to be running up the ramp here. No, deciding he does not want to do that. Possibly going to be laying down a proxy pylon. Lots of sentries here in this army. 5 sentries here with 2 stalkers. Another gas coming down right now for range, and both players content just sitting back and macroing up a bit of an army. Going to see what direction they want to bring these. Concussive shells coming down right now, and one marauder on the way. Interesting choice to get concussive shells first. Yeah, so many Marines out right now, but Tarson knows best. We'll see what he decides to do with that. Sentries and stalkers poking down a little bit here. Don't think they're actually going to try and push into anything. I feel like that would be a death trap. Factory is now coming down for Tarson, so deciding to start going for that higher tech. A robotics facility on the way right now for range, and range getting an additional gateway. So sitting on a 4-gate robo right now. Missile turret starting to come down now for Tarson. Has Marine spread all over his base here, looking at everything. And this is actually the old version of Shakur's Plateau, as you see these destructible rocks between the 2 bases. So very interesting here. See what these guys are going to try and go for. Lots of sentries here, just slowly getting that energy up, and that will be a big deal in the later armies, or even any early battles that occur here. Those sentries with mass energy will be a big deal if the energy is used right. Now getting a reactor on this barracks, moving it out of his choke point there so he has a little more room. More tech labs coming down, 2 more tech labs on the barracks. No starport on the way just yet, and it has been started now, as STIM has also been started, and level 1 upgrades for the infantry of the Terran. Also see a robotics bay being started right now for ranged. Another gateway coming down, so going to see some Colossi play. Another reactor coming down, it looks like, on the factory, and that's going to be switched out with that starport. We'll probably start seeing the double Viking construction, as ranged has to guess that Colossi are probably going to be on the way. Lots of Marauders starting to come out right now, as ranged really starting to try and fight that Colossi that he is guessing is coming. Templar Archives has also been, Twilight Council has also been started, and additional barracks coming down, and another money scan there by Tarson, seeing everything that's going on, except for the robotics bay, which is back. Where did he put that robotics bay? Oh, way back here, so he definitely didn't see that. Extended thermal lance already coming out, and Chrono boosting out those level 1 upgrades as well. 1 Colossi has been started, and more barracks being thrown down once again. His factory is just kind of flying around, possibly making add-ons for these guys. Actually doesn't know what he wants to do. Building an additional starport now, so he's going to be on double starport. First class about halfway done. Level 1 upgrades about to finish up there for ranged. Extended thermal lance is getting close to halfway done as well, and Zealot Lakes has also been started. It looks like this army possibly going to move out here for Tarson. Tarson's about 10 supply ahead right now. He doesn't know that, of course, but he's got to be feeling okay, as he got his expansion down a lot earlier. Here comes 2 medevacs. Could be seeing some drop play, and there's a proxy pylon being thrown down right now for ranged here in the top left corner. Stim and combat shields is about to finish up. This army is going to take out that probe right now, and they are now going to start scouting around for a proxy pylon, knowing that probe was up to no good somewhere. See, the supplies are still very close, within 10 of each other. And here comes the 3rd base now of Tarson. This pylon, I don't believe, is going to see it. No, he's not, so good news there for our Terran player. Factory now coming out to scout, going to be floating around. There's a pylon coming down here, so I can only assume that a 3rd base is going to be started here shortly for ranged. Large Bioball army coming out now. We'll see if he decides to actually push up and do a little bit of damage. There is 1 Colossi on the field, another about to be finished up. Thermal Lance upgrade finishes, Zealot Legs about to finish. Hallucination being researched, so probably going to make some hallucinated Phoenix just so he can make sure that he can scout everything that's going on for the Terran. There is more missile turrets coming down right now. 1 in the middle of the main in the mineral patches. And here comes the factory now to scout, and it's actually going to land at this base, which is a huge deal. Going to delay that expansion for quite some time. This Protoss army is probably going to head out and try and get rid of that as soon as possible, as this command center is about finishing up. Level 2 armor, ground armor there for the Protoss has been started, and it looks like Range is just going to adjust and actually take this expansion first. So very interesting choice by him. Saw a few units stim, and it looked like they wanted to go and attack that, but they saw this ball heading out here and really do not want to screw around when that is happening. Factory here is going to be killed. It's not going to lift it off in time. It's going to light on fire and die a slow, fiery death. He still hasn't found this pylon yet, and actually did see it with those Vikings there, as some units got warped in there. So here they come to take it out now. That is going to go down. We'll see if he decides to go planetary or orbital with this. And here comes the Protoss Death Ball starting to head out. You can see range is about 12 supply behind now. He has not started a 4th base up here yet, but it looks like he's intending to. And there's a lot of Vikings on the field right now. Might be able to snipe a few Colossi up. One Colossi very close to dying. One goes down. Units just stimming back and getting away from the Colossi fire. All the Colossi are going to go down here. There's way too many Vikings up. And just stimming and kiting right now. And they need to push up and take out this last Colossi. They do not want to let it get shields up. There we go. They push in, take out just about everything. And he's going to push into this Protoss army. Force fields could make a huge play here, but really they've all been used. Vikings landing now, continuing to help. And I do see level 1 infantry armor coming up for the Terran right now. This battle's very close. Both players took heavy losses, but losing 3 Colossi very early like that does hurt. And so it does look like that Ranged is going to be able to... Well, you know, I'm not sure. Oh, yes, with this other Colossi, he is going to be able to push back Tarson. He does get a proxy pylon here right in the middle of the map. But the 3rd is up for Tarson, and he's mining from it very heavily, calling down a bunch of mules. The 3rd's finished up for range, but he has not done any sort of transfer yet. More Colossi coming out. Tarson electing to go for a planetary fortress at this location first. And we'll see what range decides to do here. If he wants to just keep trying to macro his opponent. It hasn't worked too well yet. Does have another proxy pylon up at this location. And he did take out these rocks here, so I guess it's not so much a proxy as he's preparing to take this base if he elects to do so. If we look at our supply here, we see that Tarson is still ahead by about 8, but it's very, very close. More Colossi being pumped out right now. Taking a look at the units, we'll see 2 out right now. 3rd one on the way. Level 2 upgrades finishing right now for Ranged. And more Vikings coming out for Tarson. Also, Warp Prism coming out right now for Ranged. So we'll see what Ranged decides.